Hello everyone, it is Toby here. Sorry that I have had a few weeks away. It has been very busy, but this weekend we have the Giants Live World Deadlift Championships and the Strongman Open taking place over in Birmingham. Nice and local to me, just an hour away. And yes, I will be going in person, so I'm super excited. It's my first in-person Giants Live in a few years now, so I am very excited to go and watch Thor attempt to pull 5'10", and all of these other amazing athletes try and pull some big deadlifts, and of course the full strongman show as well. So without further ado, in this video we are going to do some predictions. So before we jump into the lineup and the events, I just want to remind you that if you're new here, go down below, click like on the video and subscribe for more strongman coverage and also a bit of training here and there. My training's taking a little bit of a back step at the minute, but we've got plenty of pro strongman to be talking about. So let's, without further ado, get in to the lineup. So this lineup is pretty stacked. We did originally have Tom Stoltman and Trey Mitchell in here, but I believe that they have both since pulled out after the strongest man on earth. But nevertheless, this lineup is absolutely awesome. Of course, we have Thor kicking us off with this, his first Giants Live back in a very long time, going for that world record deadlift, but also doing the full show. Very excited to see Thor back. We then have the strongest man on earth, Evan Singleton, fresh off that win on a bit of a win streak. At the minute, can he keep it up with this competition? Well, I'm sure we will see. We have Paddy Haynes coming in, looking big, looking strong, obviously no bias whatsoever there. We have Luke Stoltman. We have the return of Pavlo Nakonechny. I am really excited to see what sort of shape Pavlo's in. We have Adam Bishop. We have Matt Ragg. We have Austin Andrade. We have Rauno Heinle coming just for the deadlift. We also have Eddie Williams, Bryce Johnson, Gav Bilton, Tristan Hoth, and Raul Flores rounding out our lineup. That is a stacked lineup of deadlifters. I am really excited for this year's Deadlift World Champs. So, of course, the events are as follows. Starting things off with no surprise whatsoever is the Max Deadlift. The Deadlift World Championships is our first event. And then we have the Farmer's Walk, the Sandbag Steeplechase, the Hammer Hold, the Viking Press, and the Power Stairs. So we actually have 6 events at this Giants Live. I know Hammer Hold. Can it count? I'm not so sure. But we have more than 5 events at a Giants Live, and they are a really good set of events on the whole. I am really pleased with them. So we are going to go event by event and give sort of a top 3 on each event, and then at the end I'm going to try and predict my podium. I'm on a bit of a good streak at the minute with predictions, getting first and second right at the last show. So let's see if we can do just as well. So the max deadlift then, I think it's going to be no surprise to anyone that I'm going to pick Thor to win this deadlift. I mean, that is providing he gets that world record, because there is a world that I see Thor missing 5'10" and his last warm-up being beaten by a few of these guys. But I think Thor's going to do it. I have every faith. So I'm going to put Thor to win the deadlift. And then I think in second place on the deadlift, I am going to go with anyone from, well, it's going to be a tie because they'll do probably the same weight, but I'm going to pick like Adam Bishop and Austin Andrade to be there or thereabouts with a big number. Obviously Rauno as well, but he's only doing the deadlift, so it doesn't matter for the whole competition. I'd pick Adam Bishop, Austin Andrade. I'm really excited to see how Raul Flores holds up. Obviously he did a very big pull recently, so what sort of shape's he going to be in? And I think Evan is going to be really up there as well. I'm not sure if he's got like 470, 480 in him, but definitely 1,000 pounds. So I'm going to go with Thor and then Adam and Austin with Evan up there as well for the max deadlift. Then next up is Farmer's Walk, which is a very brutal one to go behind a deadlift, I'll tell you that. I think that for this, Evan is going to be really good. Evan is very good at a moving like a farmer's walk. I'm going to pick Evan for the win on this event. I think Paddy will do decent. Obviously, he had a bit of a fumble on the farmer's walk at Iceland's, but I think he will have learned from his mistake there and Farmers Walk will be a good event for Paddy. You know what? Eddie Williams has a phenomenal grip, and I think Eddie Williams can be up there on Farmers Walk as well. Obviously, we've just seen him win the frame into the arm over arm at the strongest man on earth. So I think Eddie Williams is a good pick to be up there on the Farmers Walk. Then our next event is the Sandbag Steeplechase, which is a horrendous event to put in a deadlift competition. But I think Paddy is going to win this one. It is probably one of his absolute best events, and I think he's got the conditioning to keep going as well. So I think Paddy's going to be up there on the win. Adam Bishop is very, very quick on a loading, so I would expect to see him somewhere at the top three. Thor has just got such a wingspan, such a long stride. I can't see Thor outside of sort of the top five on this event, and also on Farmers Walk. Actually, I didn't mention Thor, but I can see him being up there as well. Luke Stoltman is another one who's incredibly good at a loading. I'd expect Luke to be very, very quick here. Obviously, he's not going to pick up many points on the deadlift in this field, but I think like Farmers and Sandbag, he could be very, very good. In fact, Luke is very good at Farmers. I think last time we saw it, he did very, very good at it. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Luke up there on those events. And then we have Hammerhold up next. And Hammerhold is a very interesting choice for this competition because we've got all of the really long-limbed individuals, obviously with the deadlift, lots of long arms going on. But on this event, I think, you know what? I think Austin can do very well. He's got such like a big chest. He can rest his arms on it. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gav Bilton do very decent on this. Thor could do very, very well on this as well. I think he is pretty decent at a hammer hold. I'd expect Evan to go to the absolute wire on this event as well. This one's really hard to predict. I think it's going to chuck the points all over the place, to be completely honest. But yeah, you know what? I'm not so sure. And then we have the Viking press, the overhead that I'm actually really excited to see back. I really, really like a Viking press. I think a Viking press probably suits Thor quite well with, you know, his pressing power still coming back, but I think it being on a fixed plane, I think Thor will be able to get into it a lot more. I think we could see Thor up there. I think Evan is likely going to win the Viking press. Evan is very, very good at a Viking press. Luke Stoltman will be up there as well. Very decent at a Viking press. A very, very strong overhead. I could probably see someone like Bryce Johnson doing pretty decent here at a Viking press. I haven't mentioned Bryce too much, but I think that's because he's going to be sort of in that 5th, 6th spot on a lot of events because he is very, very consistent. He has been very, very good recently. I'd like to see how he copes with the pace of a Giants Live. But yeah, Viking press is an interesting overhead choice for this event, and I'm really pleased about it because obviously all the other overheads require a clean, which once you've done a max deadlift, a farmer's walk, a sandbag steeple, your lower back is just going to be absolutely fried, and the clean is what's going to kill people. So having a pure pressing, power pressing event in this comp is a fantastic choice. But yeah, I think Evan's going to win this. I'd expect Luke Stoltman and Thor to be around 2nd or 3rd on this event. And then we finish up with the power stairs, and I'd expect Evan and Thor to be 1 and 2 on this event. I am not sure in which order. I could see a world where it's Evan versus Thor for the title based on these power stairs. So that is going to be very, very exciting. Who else is good at power stairs? I could see Bish being very good at power stairs. Obviously, Paddy, very, very decent. Pavlo Nekonechny, I have no idea what shape Pavlo's in. I haven't mentioned him at all yet. If he's in very, very good shape, power stairs seems to be a great event for him, obviously. He's very good at like that brute force sort of strength. So I'd see that. Bryce Johnson's decent. Eddie Williams is good. Matt Ragg as well, someone I've not mentioned too much. Obviously, Austin as well. I keep not mentioning Austin too much on these, but I think Austin, he's very, very good at like Viking press. But I don't know. I don't know where I see Austin in this competition. It's really hard to call. So let's try and call it. Let's go for the overall predictions. Now, I think 1 and 2 in this competition is going to be Thor and Evan. In what order, I don't know. My heart and my gut says Evan is going to take the win at this competition. I think Thor will take the deadlift record, and I think Evan will edge him out for the win. I think the deadlift might just take a bit too much out of Thor, and Evan has lots of events he could very, very well win at this competition. Like Farmer's Walk, he could win. There is a world he could win sandbag steeplechase. He could definitely win the Viking press and the power stairs. The hammer hold is, I'm not really sure, but it's a grit event. Evan's very gritty. So I'm again going to put Evan in the win for this competition. I'm going to put Thor in second. And then third place is a very, very tough position to call because obviously we have Austin Andrade, who's incredibly powerful in the deadlift. He can move decently well as well. He will do very, very well in the Viking press. We obviously then have Paddy, who will do decently in the max deadlift. It looks like £1,000 is going to be on the table. Farmers, he could win. Sandbag steeple, he is likely to win. I think hammer hold is not the best event for Paddy, but also might not be the worst event for Paddy. It's just he's not done it in competition. It's hard to tell. Viking press is probably not the event, not the overhead that Paddy wanted because he's obviously reliant on the jerk quite a bit, but you know, his shoulder power is improving and improving and improving. So we could see Paddy pick up a few decent points on this Viking press. And power stairs, again, Paddy has the ability to be very, very good. So between Austin, Paddy, you know, Luke Stoltman has a very, very good shot at making that third position as well. I think the max deadlift is going to cost him, but he's very good at farmers, very good at sandbag steeple, very good at hammer hold, very good at Viking press, and okay at power stairs as well. So that gaggle between like third to sixth is just going to be really, really tough to call. And I think that I am going to call it this way. I think we're going to have an Evan Singleton win, a Thor Bjornsson in second place, and I think we are going to have an Austin third place, and with Paddy in fourth, and then Luke Stoltman in fifth. I think that's where we're going to go. To be completely and utterly honest, I think Evan is going to perform very, very well. I think Thor's going to get the max deadlift and perform good enough to get second, and I think it's going to be very close. I really do think it's going to come down to the power stairs, and I think Austin is going to do very good on the max deadlift. I think he could do very decent at the farmers. He was very good at the frame at Worlds a couple years ago. I think sandbag steeple's not the best for Austin, but also not the worst. Hammer hold, I have an outside feeling Austin's just going to be very good at hammer hold. I don't know why. Viking press, very, very statically powerful Austin, so should be a good event for him. And power stairs, he's been training it for Smo. He'll be very, very decent at power stairs, I'm sure. So that's my rationale. That's what I'm going to call. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think is going to happen at this show. Who do you think is going to pull what in the deadlift, and who do you think is going to win the overall show? Give me your podiums down below. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Toby. I hope to see some of you guys in Birmingham in person. If you do see me, just come say hi. I love Strongman, waffling Strongman. But I will be there. So again, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.